Welcome to Virtual Sunday School at All Souls Unitarian Church, where we love beyond belief. This Sunday, and for all of our summer Sundays, we're going to talk about being the change we would like to see in the world. One of the ways that we can be the change that we want to see in the world is by living out our peace practices. Do you remember what our peace practices are? The first one, be kind in word and deed. Number 2, respect yourself, all others, and the environment. Number 3, everyone gets to play. Now it's time to go play with Miss Elle Fowler. Time for your lesson for the day. Take it away, Elle.
Today we are going to talk about fun ways to get to know someone more deeply. When we meet people for the first time, we can ask questions to learn a little bit about them. We might ask what foods they like, or what their favorite color is. We might wonder what they like to do, or what fandoms they enjoy. Maybe they like Pokemon, or maybe they like Disney movies, or maybe they like the same kind of games. Today, I want us to explore some questions that help us get to know someone even better. We are going to talk about questions that tell us what someone values, or what someone believes is important, or what really matters to someone else. I have 8 prompts today. Prompts can be a question or a statement that gets someone thinking and talking. And I have a fun way for us to try to pick which question to ask someone. So we're going to use some paper folding today. You are going to need a piece of paper. You are going to need a pair of scissors. And you are going to need a pen of some kind to write with. And if you'd like, you can absolutely add some coloring tools to decorate as you go. As we decorate today and we fold this, you might want a grown-up to help you if some of these steps are a little hard. So let's get started. The first thing that we are going to do is we need to take, I have just a regular piece of typing paper here that would be like in a printer. And you can use notebook paper, you can use construction paper, but we need it to start off as a square piece of paper. So the first thing I need to do is turn this rectangle into a square. And I do that by taking a corner and lining it up with the opposite side until I have a straight line where they meet up. And once I get there, I'm going to fold my paper, have a nice crease across. And this extra piece right here where there is no overlap, this is the extra piece that we're going to cut off. It's the part we don't need to make a square. So I'm going to cut this piece off, trying to stay along that line as much as possible, because starting with a nice square is going to make my end product a lot nicer looking and easier to use. So now when I open it, you can see I've got a pretty nice little square shape here. I already have one diagonal fold. A diagonal is from corner to corner across the middle. So I'm going to do a second diagonal fold the other way. So I'm going to try to make a line across here. So I'm going to take this corner and fold it over just like this and create another crease. So now I have two diagonal lines on my paper. The next step is to take each corner that I have. I'm going to take each corner and I'm going to fold that corner in so that the corner touches the very center of these two diagonal lines we've made. So I'm going to start with this corner. I'm going to take the corner and fold it so that it touches the very center. And I'm going to hold it down and crease the paper. That's one corner, 3 more to go. Okay, this is looking really good. I have folded my paper so that now all of the corners are touching the middle. Now the next thing I need to do is turn it upside down. So I'm gonna just flip it over. And I know that I'm looking at the right side now because there's no part sticking up. This is flat. I didn't unfold anything, just have this flat side. And I'm gonna basically do the same thing I just did. I'm gonna take each corner and I'm gonna pull that corner to the center, and I can kind of see where the center is from the folds that I've done. So once again, I'm gonna take a corner and pull it down to the middle, just like this. Okay, one corner down, 3 more to go. So here I go. All right, this looks really great. So now that I have this, I can kind of pop my corners up a little. And so when I'm popping up these corners from where it has the fold, this is where my fingers are gonna go. They're gonna slide. So here's what I just folded the back. This was the back. I'm gonna flip it back over and I'm gonna find these unfolded pieces here. And this is what I'm gonna stick fingers inside of and bring them up to kind of pinch. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. And this can be kind of the hard part, is getting it to unfold correctly. But once I get it and I kind of start pinching it to get it around right, I have got my little fortune-telling shape. That's what some of these are called, but we're going to use them just to write questions in. You can see with my fingers in them, I can open it different directions, kind of like a puppet. Yeah. So what I am going to do is when I open this, I can see that there's some inside parts, and if I open the flaps, I'd be able to read the inside. So if I open it back up, now that I've gotten my fingers in it, and lay it flat, here's the folded side again. These are all folded. I'm gonna open these up again. So if I open it up, it's flat on the inside, and I can see on the inside there's like 8 little sections here. 8 little sections. Each of those sections I'm going to write a question in, and these are going to be the questions that I use to try to get to know someone a little bit better. So I'm going to zoom in so we can see the questions. The first question that I would want to ask somebody to get to know them better or the first prompt, because it's not really a question, but it makes people think like a question would. and that is, tell me about a food that has a special memory. And I think about things that might have special memories. Maybe there's a certain food that you eat as a family when it's your birthday, or when you have a special occasion to celebrate, or maybe there's a food that went really bad when someone tried to make it, or something that you always pick up from a restaurant when you can that is just your favorite thing. So that's my first prompt. Now I'm going to write my next prompt in this section. And my next question is, who is someone you admire and why? Who is someone you admire? You know what admire means? It means that you think is really doing something well, and that you think really highly of that person, that they're doing something really great. And sometimes there might be just one thing about somebody that you really admire, like they really go after a goal, or they can always admit when they're wrong and apologize. I think those are important things that I might admire in someone. All right, so now I'm going to continue moving along, and I'm going to write my questions in this space. So my next question is, what do you think makes a really good friend? I don't think everyone is always looking for the same qualities in a friendship, so we can get to know someone better by asking what makes a really good friend. And then the next question I'm going to write is, what do you do when you make a mistake? I think we can get to know a lot about a person by knowing what they do when they know they've made a mistake or done something wrong, because we all make mistakes. And so I think that can tell us a lot about someone and how they like to be treated as a friend, or how they can treat us as friends. So I'm going to write those two questions now. Two more questions down. Next, I'm going to ask two questions that are kind of hard and we might have to think about. The first is, what is the hardest thing you've ever done? It might be learning to ride a bike, or it might be answering a question at school in front of everybody. Maybe that's the hardest thing. Or maybe it would be having to apologize for something that made you feel really sad. So what is the hardest thing you've ever done? That can tell us a lot about a person and what they think is important, or what they struggle with. And then the next question is, and this is kind of hard, what do you hope people who know you say about you? So, do you hope people say that you are trustworthy, or that you are kind, or that you are adventurous? What do you hope people who know you, like your parents or your really close friends, would say about you? So I'm going to write those two questions down too. And as I'm writing, I might find that I can't really fit everything I want to fit in that space, and that's okay. You can abbreviate as long as you know what the question is. My last two questions are, how can people help you when you feel sad? That's such a great thing to know about someone that we're trying to get to know, is how people can help them when they feel sad. And then my last thing is another prompt, and it is, tell me about a time someone helped you. The last thing that we are going to do is we're going to close these flaps back down, and we're going to write numbers on top of the flaps. So you can pick what order to put your numbers, but we're going to write the numbers 1 through 8. So here I go. Okay, so now that I have all of the numbers 1 through 8 written, I'm going to flip it over. And this is where you can use colors to decorate each section if you'd like. I'm just going to write the names of colors. So I picked some colors to write on the top. You can pick colors to write on the top. You can do 4, or you can do 8, or you can do 3. Lots of choices. So now it's time to put it on. And I've got it ready. You can see the colors are written on it. So I'm going to pick a random question by first picking a color, and I'm going to pick red. And red has 3 letters, R-E-D, so I'm going to go R-E-D 3 times. And then on the inside, look, I can see numbers. So I would have someone pick a number. I'm going to pick 3. So then I'm going to once again go 1, 2, 3. And then I have more numbers to pick from. I'm going to pick 6. 6 is one of my choices. So I'm going to lift up the flap for 6 and read the question under it. And it says, what do you do when you make a mistake? And then I'd answer that question. So I hope you can take these questions and maybe this fun way to figure out which question you're going to ask and use it with people in your family or your friends or somebody that you are trying to get to know. I hope you have fun with it. Go and be blessed and be a blessing.